Recently, the MMA community has been accusing the UFC of stacking UFC 299 to make Sean O'Malley look like more of a star than he really is. Many fans do not believe that O'Malley could sell pay-per-views on his own. Sean O'Malley responded to this on his YouTube channel. Here's what he had to say.
UFC 300's looking good, but UFC 299. It's so funny that the cards are so stacked and people want to spin it to be, see, I told you were a star, they're stacking your card. I'm just, like, wait, what? I'm confused. That means I'm not a star because they're stacking the card? It's Miami. Go find one Miami card they didn't stack.
And why would people even be upset in the first? Don't you want a stacked, fun UFC card to watch?
Haters are weird. They're like, see, they're trying to push you. It's like, bro, I've been on I fought like 12 times in UFC. Pretty much every fight's been on the main card, main UFC. It's been on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Whether they've obviously, UFC's a business. They're making millions and billions of dollars. And I'm on every UFC pay-per-view. So you'd think, oh, maybe there is some kind of star power there.
I don't know where this disconnect came from on Twitter late, like the last 2-3 months. People have just been on your ass about being a star and they're like, I don't know where it's coming from.
It's weird.
And it's weird. Yeah, and about your height. For some reason, people are like, there's no way in hell Sean's 5'11". And people were just going crazy about it.
Damn.
I'm like, what are you guys doing? What's your day like?
I deleted Instagram and Twitter off my phone. I finally did it.
Good.
And it's a weird, it's only been 3 or 4 days, but it's, as far as surfing, Twitter and Insta.
Wow.
No more. Not forever. Just for now. For fight camp, it's nice. So it feels good. Feels less thinky.
Henry Cejudo thinks emotions may play a huge factor in Sean Strickland versus Dricus Du Plessis this weekend. Henry predicts Dricus to win because of it.
And what makes this guy dangerous too, now that he's fighting for the title, I've been there before. And it could be a gift and it could also be a curse. He's on an 8-5 win streak. Undefeated in the UFC. That championship experience is one thing that I hope he really honed in on, as with his coaches and his trainers, is really understanding that threshold to be able to get everything done within those 5 rounds. The one and only, Sean Strickland. Look at that, Sean Strickland, you got some trimming to do here, man. Looks like you got Don King in a headlock. His durability. This dude does have a grit. As much shizness as I talk about Sean Strickland, and so has he about me, it's all good, but I will give him this. The dude is made for tough, like he really is. You either put him out, like Pereira did, or you're in for a freaking fight. And then the biggest thing to me is, where is he at mentally? I mean, when you put so much stress on yourself, when you let the media in, you let guys, analysts, guys like myself, and we allowed to kind of express our feelings of the situation. I mean, that stuff will get to you. I gotta go with this ninja man on this one. I don't know, man, and I feel kind of weird. Because of the emotions that's going on with Sean Strickland, guys, you know what? I take that back. I'm gonna have to go with the King of Africa, dude. I just have to, man.
Michael Bisping is extremely confident that Magomed Ankalaev would defeat Alex Pereira. Anthony Smith, however, believes Pereira does have a chance.
But you got to say Magomed Ankalaev beats Pereira, right? On paper, it looks to be a bad matchup.
It does look to be a bad matchup.
For Pereira, Jesus, CTE guys is kicking in.
Yeah, it does look to be that Magomed Ankalaev has an advantage over Alex Pereira.
If there was a bet that you want to put on, if there would be an almost guarantee, it's going to be on Magomed Ankalaev, because he's going to wrestle. He's going to wrestle him. I think he can stand, and that would be fun. But as you say, you mix it up, you take him down, you take the path of least resistance, and you become champion of the world. Ideally, when do you see that fight going down? Because Magomed took no damage.
Yeah, he took 0 damage. We're in January now. I mean, I don't see why we couldn't do it in May or June. Beginning of the summer. Yeah. And I think that there is a world that exists where Pereira goes out and lands a couple pretty heavy leg kicks and kind of compromises Ankalaev's movement. We did see Johnny Walker land some pretty good leg kicks on him. Alex Pereira's leg kicks are better. I think they're better targeted for sure. There's a world that exists where he lands a couple of really heavy leg kicks and really hinders the way that Ankalaev can move, and then does leave him out there to dry kind of on his feet. He would have to do that early, but it's possible for sure. But I think if I'm betting, if I have to put my entire livelihood on it, I'm gonna put it all on Ankalaev.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Okay, so I guess we'll wait and see on that.
Last night, Dana White announced 2 more fights for UFC 300. Jim Miller will be fighting Bobby Green, and Justin Gaethje will be defending his BMF title against Max Holloway. Gaethje reposted the fight poster to his Instagram, and Max Holloway posted this to X. He wrote, "The marathon continues. Who do you guys got for these fights? And what do you think about the UFC 300 lineup now? Post your takes in the comments." On to some more news regarding UFC 300. Khamzat Chimaev teases that he may be fighting on the card. Moments ago, Khamzat posted this to his Instagram story. It's a photo of himself and it says 300. Israel Adesanya criticizes Sean Strickland over the recent drama with Dricus Du Plessis. Izzy also gives his prediction for who will win this weekend at UFC 297. On his YouTube channel, Izzy said, "I heard that Sean got triggered. I saw the brawl, and I thought that's out of character, but then again, he can dish it, but he can't take it. Look, we all have our own code, and we all do whatever we have to do to win. Some people do anything to win, even if it's fabricating lies, if it's taking things out of context, if it's going after a loved one, anything to get the win. Some people take steroids to get the win. They'll do anything to win. But some people have a code when it comes to building a fight or whatever as well. I have a code where I won't stoop to certain levels, but sometimes codes can be broken or rewritten. The whole thing with him crying. You know what's funny? When you roll the clip back, and he's crying in the cage, I was like, quit crying like a bitch, and he hugs me. I'm joking obviously, but it's kind of ironic. I was like, quit crying like a bitch, because he's making fun of me. He's such a soy boy and this and that. It's just funny. I find it funny how he can dish it but can't take it. That's very telling for me. Dricus is going to try to wrestle him. Stand up in the beginning, do his offbeat rhythm, all that stuff. He might get jabbed in the first round by Sean and then have to really switch to the grappling because Sean's jab is underrated. I never underestimated it, but it's underrated and I figured it out. It didn't take me long to figure it out after the fight. In the fight, I had some other shit going on that I wasn't able to figure it out. I was worried about some other stuff self-consciously to do with me, not to do with him. I'm going to go with Dricus. Is it going to go the distance? I'm going to say no. Not that I don't respect Sean or his skills. The guy beat me. Of course I respect his skills. I'll say submission. He'll submit him. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are in reference to Khamzat Chimaev calling out John Jones. The first one's from Chris Dank 741. It says Khamzat wants to fight everyone except people in his own division. The second one's from PS 9501. It says how Khamzat goes from most active fighter to least active is quite amazing. I think Burns really humbled him, and he understood he isn't as invincible as he thought. And the final one's from MMA for Life. Says Khamzat calling out everybody but fighting nobody. The I kill everybody stuff nobody takes seriously after barely beating a welterweight at middleweight. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.